completely like painted on. And as you can see, we're just gonna fall right through the map. Cause what's good, y'all? Today we're gonna be talking about the sad and unfortunate state of Pokemon games in 2025. I have a few notes here, or a few points here, that I want to specifically hit on. The rest of it is probably just gonna be rambling, but I'm gonna try and stay on point as much as I can, stay on topic. The first half of this video is gonna be addressing like Pokemon Legends RC, man, why do I keep saying that? This is not Legends Arceus, this is Legends ZA. We're gonna be addressing Legends ZA, the quote-unquote mixed opinions, but you know, I'm gonna get back to that later on. And yeah, that'll be the first half. We talk about a new game, and then the second half I kind of want to talk about the future and like what I would like to see, and also comparing it to the game that you see here on your screen right now, Gamma Emerald, which, you know, I'm gonna get more into that later. You know, I don't want to start rambling on that. But anyways, first let's start with this new game, Legends ZA. We haven't gotten a new game in a few years now, so you know, I guess this is what takes years of development to work on, but I digress. I'm gonna have some clips up playing in the background. I'm probably gonna watch through them myself, live with y'all and react. But I don't know, man. It's just disappointing. You know, we're in 2025. We have the Nintendo Switch 2. Everybody was so excited. You know, it was for years and years. Oh my gosh, Switch 2 rumors. Oh my gosh, I can't. And finally we get it, you know. And it has a lot of things that people expect from it. You know, no OLED, but you know, that's not the purpose of this video. I want to talk about the graphics and the textures of this new game, man, Legends ZA, you know. And we got Scarlet and Violet, and you know, it wasn't the best looking game, and the performance on it was, I don't even want to talk about that. I'm just such a fan of Pokemon that I can't say I enjoyed it, because honestly I don't really even remember that game that much. But just in the moment of just it being what it is, and you know, this being the series that I grew up playing, like I enjoyed that aspect of it. But as a game, I mean, I honestly can't even remember it. Like, I don't remember it. My favorite game recently was Arceus, so that's why I was really excited for this game. But you know what, let me just start ranting. Let's bring up the first clip. All right, let's jump right into this first clip. As you can see, you know, we're just taking a nice little jog through the city, you know, just jogging through the city. You know, we have 2D textures not loading in. The windows are completely like painted on. And as you can see, we're just gonna fall right through the map. Cause you know, like, what is this game, man? Like, look, I don't even know what to say, bro. We have people loading in as you run through. We have the windows, the two-dimensional PS2 graphic windows can't even load in properly. I mean, I don't know. Okay, speaking of popping, you know what? Let's get to the next one. You know, I just want to pull up to the Pokemon set. Wait, where's the nerd? Oh, hey, what the fuck is that? It's 2025, bro. We have this, bro. This is Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2, bro. And this is the performance we're getting. Let me do one more. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Oh, wait. This gonna be an interesting one. All right. So this is essentially, I guess this is online ranked. I haven't played any online ranked. This is online ranked gameplay here, and I don't even know what. Like, what is this? So, anyways, apparently, they just keep jumping in and out of battles because you can flee from battles, and they just keep running away, and there's no penalty for this. And they basically just end up running out the clock or doing something like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And it's even crazier that the online version is the new gameplay, because it's not even like, it's not polished. Like, it's not really meant for that. Like, I understand it. You know, they want to try something new. I'm not gonna knock it. I'll give them credit. They try something new. Me personally, I think you should be controlling your Pokemon by itself, not the trainer. That doesn't really make sense. I mean, think about the potential of being able, like, you can run around, like, what? Like, think about if they really worked on that. If they really worked on, like, the controls, like, you can jump around, fly around, like, you can hit them with your moves, like, do all type of crazy stuff, like, that would be cool. But running around in circles with your trainer to try and adjust your Pokemon, and then you got the close range and the long, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it. Me personally, I enjoyed the Legends Arceus combat. I know that it was like mixed opinions on it, but to me it was like the original battle style plus, you know, a new little twist on it, and I thought it was cool. Well, speaking of Legends Arceus, because that's one of the bullet points here on my notes. I mean, I don't even know why this is called Legends. It's called Legends just because you run around, and I don't even know. Why is this a Legends game? And is this an excuse just to drop like some trash and then say like, oh, we're experimenting, like this technically isn't a main line, it's like a spin-off? Like, what? We haven't gotten a game in years. At least last time when they did this, we got BDSP, we got Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the remakes. You know, so at least like we was like, the fans was fed, you know. But I'm gonna speak more on that later, because y'all hated on that game, and I partly understand why. But like I said, I'm gonna get to that later. I mean, yeah, I don't know why this is a Legends game. It's not based in the past, which I guess isn't. I mean, that's kind of what like Legends is like implying, but I guess that's not necessary. But I mean, we're trapped in a city. Like, this is Pokemon, guys. This, like, imagine you're playing a game. Like, imagine you're playing like fucking, what's some like Animal Crossing or whatever. What, like, imagine you're playing a game about animals. Essentially, that's what they are. They're like animals, but, you know, like a different variation in another universe. And instead of exploring the wilderness and seeing them out interacting in the wild like they did in Arceus, they're trapped in a city in wild zones. Can somebody explain who thought that was a good idea? Please, somebody tell me who thought that was a good idea. It makes no sense. There's not even like it's not even like an expansive underground area or nothing. Like, they didn't. It's nothing, bro. We running on the roof like Spider-Man, man. What is this? And then it would have been cool if they added like some little parkour stuff. And they tried to add, man. They tried it. They didn't try. Let me not say that. They did it, but they didn't try. They give you them little mini games and they say, oh, they're trying. Man, they didn't try. They had years to develop this game, man. Years. I don't get it's like, how we trapped in the city? And I'm not sure. I don't know if they've I'm keeping it 100. I don't know if they've showcased the DLC yet. So I have no clue. If they have, I don't know what's in it. But I guarantee you the DLC gonna I guarantee you, I'm so flustered, bro, talking about this stuff, I can't even speak. I guarantee you that DLC is gonna sell you some outside areas, some expansion areas, so you can leave the city. I guarantee you. And it's just like, I don't really know. So that's why I want to get into shifting into, as you can see, the gameplay in the background. You know, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. That's where I want to get into the future of this game. The future of Pokemon games. Where can we go from here? So you know, everybody's gonna say the same thing. You know, we get the next gen consoles, and it's, you know, we're going into 2026. We should be able to get higher quality games. They're gonna bring up Breath of the Wild. They're gonna do all that, right? And I agree, 100%. We should be in a way better place. They should be putting more for. I mean, bro, it's painted. We have painted JPEG windows, bro. 360p. What is that? Anyways, so I wanna kind of talk about something different. I want to take a different route, go down a different path with y'all. Me personally, I love the idea of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I think that was a great idea at its base, right? At its core. I get it. It wasn't, you know, a platinum remake. They didn't have all the things from when they, you know, quote unquote, like kind of like fixed the game up a bit, you know. They didn't have all those things in there. There was no distortion world and all that, you know. So I understand. But just the premise, like seeing that old style of Pokemon games, like with that high quality, like the colors were so nice. Everything in that game looked so nice. Like there was some areas where the leaves would be flowing, the flowers would be waving, you know. I would see that, I was like, wow, this, like visually, that's a really nice looking game. And that's why I'm having so much fun playing Gamma Emerald, because it's based off a classic, you know. And I'm only 23, so I didn't grow up playing Emerald. You know, like my first Pokemon game was Platinum. You know, that's the earliest game that I really got to play. So, like, of course I played remakes. I don't think I played through Emerald at all, like Gen 3 in any way, I don't think. So this is why this is cool to me. On top of that, I mean, just look at the quality, look at the colors. When I think of Pokemon, yeah, the graphics don't have to be amazing. We don't need like high quality like GTA 5 modded, you know, 4K. Like it doesn't have to be crazy. I think okay, if we're gonna go down this route and we're gonna have spin-off games and we're gonna have these, you know, these 3D open world Pokemon games, I think we should also have the original style, bro. The original style that put Pokemon on the map. I think that's what we should be getting. I think we should be still getting these top-down point of view Pokemon games that we used to get, that we all grew up playing. I think that style is just a classic. I want to play both ways. I love the open world aspect. Like if we could get that right, I would love the open world, like expansive. Like I really enjoyed Arceus, even though the graphics weren't that good. Some of it was like repetitive, you know, in having to have so many encounters with Pokemon and stuff. I get that, but at its core, it's like they went in the right direction. But then they did like a whole 180. You know, they kind of like, they slowly peeled back with Scarlet and Violet, and then they just give us the city and just here's some wild zones and fuck you. Buy the DLC though. If you want to leave the city, you gotta pay some extra money to leave the city. But yeah, I think the old school style is just where it's at. Like, let me put this in perspective for you. When you played a 3D open world Pokemon game and you go through a cave or anything like that, it's the experience is completely taken away. Like, think back to when you would get lost in the cave playing the old school style. You would go through these caves. It was like mazes. You would go on the mountain. You could go out this door and then come in over here, and there'd be this patch of grass. There would be certain Pokemon you could catch there, and then like certain, like hidden items and stuff like that. Like, think back to that original, like how it felt to explore in that style. Like, we're missing that. We're heavily missing that, and the 3D aspect is not making up for it. The whole open world thing is not making up for it because it's so peeled back and it's such a basic like level to this that it's like so elementary how they approach these games, and then they're like, it's like they tease like they have so much potential and they just don't tap into it. They're like, we're just gonna give the bare minimum. And I don't know. That's my thoughts on Pokemon games. Me personally, I would like to see more top down, the original style, with the little sprites and things of that nature. I think we need another game like that. I think the idea of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was great. It wasn't executed how they should have, but I think that initial idea of it was a great idea. But I think because of the reaction to that game, because a lot of people disliked it because, like I said, it wasn't a platinum remake. I think they're like, oh, let's just stray away from that. But I think that's the short-term answer. I think that they could give us a great game like that, and they should be working on these open world games behind the scenes, taking more time, actually putting more detail into it. Take a few more years maybe to at least for this next one, take a few more years, get the engine right, get the basics right, and then be able to build off that, like every other year or something like that, But yeah, I'm gonna close out with that. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. Let me know if y'all want to see more Gamma Emerald gameplay. I'm probably gonna leave a link in the comments for y'all. And yeah, man, let me know what y'all think. Let me know, do y'all like the new open world? Let me know if y'all like the new game. First off, let me know if y'all like the open world experience, or if you agree with what I'm saying. You missed that old top-down view exploration vibe, like patches of grass, going through the mountains, going through the caves. Like, if you enjoy that more, or even like the modern version of it in BDSP where they had like some Pokemon that would pop out and like stuff like that was cool to me. I really like that. But yeah, anyways, let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, and I'm out.